Hi, my name is Garrett Christopher. This is my YouTube channel, Garrett's Sports Take, my rants, I call them. And, there was a time when I couldn't even spell failure. And now I can probably give you the original Greek. Yeah. Please check out my other YouTube channels, Garrett's Take and Garrett's Movie Take. I'm doing a Garrett's Movie Take this week on Smokey and the Bandit. For you old heads out there, you really love that movie. I know you do. And for you young heads, I'm telling you, it's timeless. Check it out. Garrett's Take, a little deeper, but yeah, please check them out, and please leave comments whenever you stop in somewhere and check these out. I'm also a self-published author. You can find out more about me at GarrettChristopher.com, and I've got a couple of audiobooks out there available on Audible for my books, The Chair and the Studio Musician, and I do a weekly podcast, and I just kind of talk about stuff with my books. Sometimes I have guests in studio, fictional guests, and yeah, have a good time. In fact, last week I was actually in Huntington Beach, and I'm going to actually put that on this week as far as with the waves in the background and talking about stuff like that. So yeah, check it all out. Okay, so we're gonna do a couple of things today. I'm wearing a baseball shirt, even though this is my NFL. It's a wrap up. Now we still have tonight's game, the Raiders and the Chargers going on, but to be very honest, I didn't hit my mark again. And but it's also baseball season, and my Dodgers, let's talk about that for a second. So they won 106 games this year, tied for the franchise record, and yet the Giants, hated rival Giants, won 107 games. It was down to the last game of the season. The Giants blew out the Padres. Thank you, Padres, appreciate you. And yeah, so the Giants are going on to the first round where the Dodgers have to play the St. Louis Cardinals, and Adam Wainwright, I never beat that guy, in a one-game playoff to go into the playoffs and see what happens. Come on, Dodgers. Max Scherzer's going to take the mound. And yeah, man, it would be such a tough... Well, other teams have done that before, though. Win a lot of games, over 100 games, and then get knocked out of the playoffs easily. But yeah, my Dodgers, please don't do that to me, Dodgers. Let's get in that next round and see what we can do this year. All right, so I'm excited about that. That's on Tuesday on TBS, I believe. Here's my little plug for TBS, like anyone's watching this. Okay, NFL wrap-up. Again, yeah, I did horribly. And my Dolphins. So let's talk about them for a second. If not last week, the week before, I talked about a certain player who shall remain nameless, who reminded me of the kid of a friend of mine from way back, Jamesy Wamesy. This player fumbled a punt on yesterday, on Sunday, and I don't know why he's still returning kicks of any kind. First of all, when you are going, unless you're playing the Patriots, when you're going to return a regular kickoff, you never get the ball because they kick it into the end zone. They move the kick up, 5 yards, several years ago, to keep from all these horrific, hits, right, and special teams and going after the ball, and just tons of injuries that way. So they wanted to kill that or knock that off a little bit. Great. So you really don't get kickoffs, returns on those. Belichick does it at times to try and knock you back 18, 20 yards. But in any case, after, on a punt, you've got that going on. This kid has dropped numerous punts. Numerous. There was no one around him. Again, I couldn't do it. And I'm nowhere near the athlete he is. But why is he still returning? Right? You lost to the Colts. And losing by 10 was actually a lot closer than the game was. We were in it. But Jacoby Brissett, and I think the game calling, as far as the play calling on the offensive side, you've got two offensive coordinators. A lot of people used to say that a two-headed, anything is a freak, right? You need just one head. Okay. Man, I'll tell you what. If we end up 2-5, 2-6, you might see a coaching change. And I like Brian Flores, but I'm not liking Brian Flores right now because I didn't feel that my Dolphins were prepared for this game. And I don't feel you're making good decisions. There was a comment made by the commentators on CBS, and they were talking about the Dolphins and how this core, the receiving core, is probably one of the top receiving cores in the league, right? I mean, with the addition of Will Fuller and your number 6 draft pick coming in, you had some stuff, going on there with this team, and yet they're not being utilized. They can't get the run game together. This, for the first time in 3 years, I feel like there's no plan this year. We've definitely regressed. And I know a couple of injuries here and okay, blah, 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 whatever. But yeah, I don't know. It all comes down, I'm sorry. But unless you're the Baltimore Ravens way back in the day when Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl, and he was a good quarterback, but he was a control quarterback, right? Kind of like Terry Bradshaw was with the Pittsburgh Steelers back in the 70s, where a good quarterback and could make the big throw, but he wasn't like some incredible, gunslinger. You need a quarterback in this league. You need a guy or a gal, I don't care, who can sling the ball and get the ball to these receivers. So, did they draft the wrong person? I don't know. Right now, I think so. But is it too early to tell? Probably. I guess Tua's going to come back when they go to London and play Jacksonville. But even then, I don't see him as a gunslinger. And, man, the question now is, do you pick up the womanizer from the Texans? All those first-round draft picks you got when you traded Laramie Tunsil, do you give them all back? Do you get this quarterback? He's done as far as the Texans are concerned. He's finished. He's not going to play there anymore and might not be reinstated in the NFL for another year or so. What do? I'll tell you what, they didn't come to play at all. And who do you look at? You have to look at the coach. You have to look at the head coach as far as this is concerned. Putting guys in certain positions, play calling, name calling, having a plan go in. I don't know, very disgruntling. I was at a spot watching the game. And by halftime, I was done. I left in the middle of the third quarter thinking that maybe they might, try. And they stop the Colts coming out. The Colts had the ball at the beginning of the third quarter. They stop them. And then what happens? We give it up. We, one person in particular, missed, catches and assignments. And again, I'm no athlete. Not like these guys, that's for sure. I'm not even a good athlete at all. But plan. You watch some other teams and it's like, there's a plan happening. All right. So let's talk about how it went down this yesterday. Again, why even think about tonight's game? Raiders and Chargers, huge game. But, I chose the Chargers. If I win it, who cares? Because I still suck for the week. Here's the wrap up. I was good on Thursday. I picked the Bengals. The Washington football team, I tell you what is it? Heineke? He's got some moxie. I like that kid. I like him a lot. I remember I was in Vegas at a slot machine and I'm watching the game in last year's playoffs and when they almost beat, Tampa Bay. And I'm like, this got something going on here, and you thought the third string or whatever. I think that kid was out of football for a couple, 3 years, right? Is he like 6 years in the league or something like that? In any case, he's got some moxie. So they beat the Falcons. Falcons are, not a good team. But now you got Washington at 2-2. These guys might hit 500. The Bills blew out the Texans. We knew that was going to happen. The Bears won. They were in Detroit. They were going to win that one. The Cowboys beat the Panthers. A better game than I thought it was going to be, but the Cowboys won that one. I chose my Dolphins thinking they might end up 2-2 right now. Now, 4-4, I don't think it's going to happen for them. 3-5 maybe, and we'll see what happens. The Browns, they gave up only 7 points. I guess if I was a Vikings fan, I'd be even more upset because that quarterback has tons of ability, I think, and it just doesn't seem to pan out. 14-7, I lost that one. The Giants beat the Saints. I'm glad for the Giants. I'm sad for me. I thought the Saints would win that game. They're 2-2. After blowing out Green Bay in game 1, now they're 2-2. That's crazy. What? The Jets beat the Titans? They're 1-3 now. 2-2. It's good for the NFL. You don't have a bunch of 4-0 teams and a bunch of 0-4 teams. The Jets won a game. And guess what? My Dolphins and the Jets are tied for last place. Yeah, with the New England Patriots. Okay, the Chiefs beat the Eagles. We knew that was going to happen. The Cardinals came through. They're 4-0. Where will they end up? Are they going to win that division? I don't think so. The Rams are 3-1. We'll see what happens there. The Seahawks beat the 49ers. I called that one. That was a good call on my part. Big deal. The Ravens beat the Broncos. Okay, great. The Packers beat the Steelers. I called that one. The Buccaneers beat the Patriots. I'm sure that Tom, I guess they had a wonderful moment after the game, but I'm pretty sure that Tom enjoyed that win. Okay, so let's see what I've got going on here. So I lost the Falcons one. I lost the Dolphins one, the Browns, the Giants, the Jets. That's 5 already. God, why would I keep on counting? I'm going to tally these things up. So right now, I'd have to go like, I don't know, 15, 16, depending when the buys begin. But 15, 16, and 0, like 3 weeks in a row, just to get back to 750. Not get back to, but just to achieve a 750 winning percentage. So I've got my work cut out for me for sure. I'll tally it up in next week's wrap up. Right now, I'm way too depressed to think about it. All right. Chargers in Las Vegas tonight in LA. By the way, I hear SoFi Stadium is, I haven't even driven by it yet. I only live like an hour away from it. I haven't even driven by it yet. And I've seen it in pictures, but I hear it's incredible. Some people say it's probably the nicest stadium out there. I haven't been to all of them, so I don't know. In any case, big game tonight for those persons. I'm not going to win my 50, 60 buck pool again this week, so no cash to spread around. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so there you have it. Come on, Dodgers. So next time we speak, we'll know if they're either in the playoffs or not in. By the way, got a huge surprise coming up. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I think it's going to happen this Sunday. So the next broadcast, if not the one after that, it'll be a Lakers special with a special guest in studio. In fact, it might even be from on site somewhere. I'm really excited about it. Hopefully he is too. Yeah, there you have it. Please visit GaretChristopher.com and say hello, please. By the way, oh shoot, I can't remember the name, but I'll mention it next time. Rich has got a YouTube channel he's got going on as far as like food, something like that. Rich, I'm sorry. I promise next week that I'll mention it by name so people can check it out. And that's how we have it. Hey, have a great day. Take care. GoPro, stop recording.